This is Ray's Magnetic Field Shaping Generator 1. We'll take a look at the basic construction. I have a small motor, a drive motor, a camshaft assembly, driving a beam that works like a piston. Has a magnet pack on the end. It's driving a small generator. It has a magnet pack on it also. It's lighting 9 LEDs, not in full brightness, but at least it shows it is generating some power. I believe the power produced in the generator is caused somewhat by an over-unity event, and I'll try to validate that. I'll explain the three basic magnetic field interactions. We have, say, two like poles of magnets. They actually repel. If I turn one around and we have a north and a south, they will attract. A normal magnet has a pretty symmetrical field around it. The third is a field shaping magnetic field which I came up with. We have what I call a monopole design, and you can see that the field is more or less pear-shaped, with the fields more or less in line with the nail and the magnets. We have another field shaping magnetic example here, and when we have a north and a south, or a south and a north, these fields are coming down around. I call this a side saddle monopole because it's the nail is on the side, so it's kind of a side saddle. But this creates a force that goes down. And this is what my generator is based on for an over-unity event, I believe. And this makes an entirely different setup than your normal generators and devices. As you can see, that these forces are facing downward. It's somewhat like if you have your monopole coming this way, these forces, instead of pushing away, they come in more easily because there's less force coming this way than there is this way going down in your loop. So it's more like it's coming down, the force is hitting down. So it's coming in and then the force is pushing away. And this is what I have on my generator arm. So this represents that. So this works coming to the side or to the end. So as it comes in with a lesser force, this is in force, and then your out force as it's rotating the generator, that's my output. So it's always input to output. So if I have less input, more output, then I call that an over-unity effect. And we'll go ahead and demonstrate this. Even though the effect is over-unity, this does not mean the whole system as a whole is, because of inefficiencies and frictions and drags and so forth. Okay, I'm going to base the fundamental over-unity principle that I believe this is working on. We have our magnet pack, which I call monopole, and this represents the generator arm. and the magnet pack, which I call the activator, is the field shaped. And as it comes in, we were explaining that there's less force, so it should not push this arm away, but it should push down. So let's go ahead and see if that's able to do that. So you can kind of, if you go too far, pull back, or I'm not quite level, but let's come in here. And we'll see that it doesn't push away, but it does push down. So there's less force coming in, but it does push down. So this is what my generator is based on, this over unity effect. So we'll be back and we'll fire up the generator itself and watch that action. Okay, I'm at about 4.4 volts. You have to get just the right frequency there. So we'll take notice of the LEDs, the brightness and so forth. So we'll turn up the voltage to the drive motor and we'll see the effect. With the LEDs, the output. And if you go too far for this setup, then it'll stall out. I usually run around 5.2. But the piston effect, that pack of metal and magnets are coming in behind this nail. If it were not so, if it was coming down before, then it would be pushing away. So that leads me to believe that the firing is on the other side. Okay. Now the way it fires, if we come back and it's held down in that position, it'll actually pull back. But at that point, the arm is coming up and it freely releases. So having the correct resonance, then it's able to fire. We'll go ahead and look at that firing position on the other side. This is the diagram I have. If you decide to make this, of course, it's your responsibility. I assume no liabilities, any injuries or anything. But they are fascinating. I hope you've enjoyed this. In recap, I'm using an over unity event, I believe, and from the testing it seems to be. I have the drive motor. It can be anywhere like a 6 volt, 300 to 1 ratio, just something that turns it. The generator, you may have a little bit of difficulty. I got this years ago, but it's a 24 volt, 22 to 1 ratio. But if you get something within that range, it should be able to work. And we're using an over unity event to power the rotation. So the gain is from that over unity event. There again, as a whole, because of frictions, inefficiencies, motor, drag, the whole system is not. But I'm just trying to document the effect of an over unity event. Hope you enjoyed this. If If you'd like to support this work, you can visit my donate with Buy Me a Coffee. Until next time, enjoy your inventing. Have a good day. As a final bit of information, the placement is very crucial. You can see that I have the piston-like magnet pack coming down. It's about level with the arm that comes out from the generator. Comes out about 1/4 of the distance from the nail. You can experiment with all this. There is some movement you can do either way, up and down. Okay, thank you very much.